Yo! And welcome to the third episode of the optimization series. Right. So, quick recap again. Last episode, well, the first episode, we changed the light, got about 10 FPS. We added in the pre-visibility volume, a pre-computated visibility volume. Gives about 2 FPS, not even that. It actually works better in game. Last episode was kind of all over the place, but it mainly focused on the foliage. That gave us a butt ton of FPS. It's about 8 to 9 FPS, I believe. Probably not even that. I can't remember exactly how much. But this episode is all about a culling volume. Me personally, I don't use them. I find them really what's the word? Lazy. Yes. But what I usually do can be used in conjunction with this. So yeah. So let's get to it. First of all, I'm just going to take my pre-computated visibility volume because I know it goes around the map. It goes around the map. It's all good. I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to make a copy of it. You can use the builder brush again. There's the builder brush. But I'm just going to make a copy of my pre-computated visibility volume. So Control, then make a copy. I'm going to right click it. I am going to where is it? Convert. Can you see convert? I can't see convert. There's convert. There we go. Convert volume 2, and we're going to convert it to a cull distance volume. Right. So what this is actually going to do is it's going to find the player within the volume, and then it's going to add invisible spheres to the character. Basically, it's all done through code. There's no actual spheres or anything. But yeah. So it doesn't actually add it to the player, should I say? It adds it to the object. So yeah, but it's worth saying player because everything culls out in accordance where the player actually is, where the camera is. So how this works, I had a yes, I did have one, and now it's gone. So I'm actually going to link this down in the video, in the description. This is a piece of documentation about culling, visibility culling. I suggest you read this, or even just read through the rendering aspects. So you got light and shadow. Basically, most of this we're going to be dealing with within these tutorials. So let me just go forward. It's not. I'll go back. Sorry. So the part I actually want to do this time is add a cull distance volume. Blah blah blah. We just did that, and blah 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 blah. Just read all that, and basically, I don't need to read it because I already got it. But I'll let you read it. Again, links in the description. But this is basically what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for. I have all this written down, but basically, what's happening here is I'm going to transfer these numbers into my volume. So I'm actually going to get rid of these and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm actually going to add 6 because there's 6. For some reason there's 1 and 1 in here. Well, this one should be 2, 3, 4, or even 0 and -1. So yeah, let's open up all these. So 0 is size of 0 with a cull distance of 1,000. Basically what this means is the sphere is going to be a size of 0, and everything around it is going to be culled out to 1,000. This also includes foliage. Then I didn't think it actually did include foliage, but okay. It includes foliage. So, word of warning: if one of your meshes has allow color distance volume unticked, it will always be there. So if you tick it in, it will get seen by this volume. So next is, this works on a scale of the power of 2, but it works from 0 to 128, 128, 256 will be the next one, 256, blah 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 blah. But we'll do these in order so you can see what's actually going on. So this one will be a color distance of 2048, so 2048. Do that, and you can see what's kind of going on. If I set this back to 0, well, I can't actually set that back to 0 because it will change stuff. But we'll add another one. This one will be 256. Well, a cull size of 4096. You don't actually have to use these numbers, but we'll do that. And now you can see some more stuff is actually popping in, and we just keep on going, filling in with these numbers. These are just example numbers. I'm using these as an example for you. We'll be changing these numbers in a bit, but it's a good place to start. So 512 with the size of 8192, because why not? Then 1024 with the size of 16. Jesus, man, this is a big number. 584. And this next one, size is actually 2048, and it's got a cull distance size of 0. So basically what this is this, everything past this point doesn't actually cull. You can see it all happening. Let me just get rid of show post-processing effects. You see it happening here. It doesn't really work all that well. That's the main reason I don't like using it, because it will start cutting things out differently according to where it is in the world. It's like this stuff here is getting culled out, but the rocks behind it aren't. I'm not exactly sure why. As I said, I don't like this system. I find it lazy. But let's go back to our points. You see these trees are pretty much there. This has added half an FPS just by adding this here. But we can mess with these numbers. So size of that will cull. Okay, so the size of that will cull distance to that. So we can actually up this number. Right, and we'll up this number. And we're getting a little bit more FPS. You'll notice some of these will actually disappear soon. So yeah, I'm just messing with numbers, seeing what's going on. 349. I'm actually getting worse numbers now. So there we go. Now we're starting to lose some of the trees. So put that back to 8. And a piece of paper is falling off my desk. So there we go. We've actually just gained 2 FPS from all that. I'm actually going to knock some of these numbers down a little bit. So this one I'm going to go to 3. There we go, I just gained like another FPS from that. But you can see all these trees over here actually starting to disappear. If I move a bit closer, they'll start reappearing. And this is where this is where my way of doing things comes in. So basically, that's the volume out the way. You can slightly tweak it, but as I said, I don't particularly like using this system because it just doesn't work for me. Bearing in mind, this is the worst place in the game. Right, I'm getting 41 FPS just from that. If I go over here, I'll be getting 42 because 43, because you just get a bit more. So play around more and more with this, you can actually get a better system a better FPS going. It's only going down because I'm moving the mouse. The more I move the mouse, the less FPS I get. If I disable it, you can see exactly what's going on. So there's that done. So let's work on what I tend to do. So let's go back here. I know for a fact there's supposed to be trees here, but they're not there. And there's trees over here, but they're not there. Right, these trees over here need to be here, but because of the culling volume and the way it works, these trees will always disappear because of the distances set. Now if I up the distances a little bit, I'm going to gain them trees, but I'm going to lose FPS. So we got to make it like a workaround. So what we're going to do is just add a custom cull to these trees and these trees here. And it will basically override the volume we just put in. So let's go do that. The way I like to do this is I don't like to do them all. Yeah, I like to just give a hint of something's actually there. So let's just pick out about 7 or 8, maybe 10 different trees. Some of the thicker ones. Hit F4. What I tend to do as well, I like to actually group these things together. So have I got allow grouping on? No, let's allow grouping. And wait for everything to catch up. Because you know stuff's already grouped up in this map, which I forgot to ungroup everything. And okay, what's going on? No, something's definitely wrong. Ah, there we go. Okay, so these must be grouped. So let's ungroup them. Bearing in mind, I was working on this map before I even started optimizing it. Come on, don't be a git. Okay. Oh, for God's sake. Why are you being such a pain in my arse? Alright, let's take this out. There we go. Damn lights again. So groups, I'm going to ungroup all this. Alright, then I'm just going to select some normal trees. So let's select some really thick ones. Also, I'm going to not use the move tool because yeah, it kind of likes to move things and I have to rebuild lights. So if you use the like select tool, nothing gets moved. Might as well grab a few of these as well. So let's go back here so we can see which ones we've actually selected and grab that one. So I don't mind a few popping in and out. Let's group these together. Groups, ungroup again, and group actors like that. And we're going to go to rendering. I'm going to come down to max view distance. What this is actually the cull distance. So if I put in like 16,000, they should pop back in. Okay, yeah. Okay, they're not working. Multiple values. Why have they got multiple values? 0. They shouldn't have multiple values. Alright, let's take out this uncutting volume thing. For some reason there's multiple values on it. I think it's because I've already messed around with things before. But okay. We're going to put this to quite a large number. So 20,000. So let's see when they start culling out. And they don't. It's kind of too big. And it's 15,000. There we go. Now they're starting to cull out. It's actually quite a good number. So let's go back to our 2. You can see they're still there. Let me lock this, come out. Still getting 40 FPS. Go back here. I can do this for multiple sections as well, so the trees up here I'll do as well. And as I said, I'm not worried about every tree popping in and popping out, as long as it gives me some idea that there's actually trees there. Oh, so from back here you can actually unload everything. So let's up this by about 1,000. Next point over here, and they unload from there as well, so we'll up that to about 18. That's not bad. 18.5. 18. Yeah, that's good enough. So we'll quickly just do some of these. You can also box select stuff, but I'm not going to do that. If you noticed, I've already got some selected in groups, so I'm just going to use that group. Bugger off with the cull distance volume, and I'm going to add quite a large number to this because it needs to be quite large, because it's like the furthest place in the game that you can actually see. Okay, so that's too large. So 18 is a bit large, a bit small, for a 19. That'll do. And then I can start picking out individual details. And this is my way of doing things. I like to cull individual items. So if things aren't popping in and out right with that volume, you can manually override things. But if you have say them little lights everywhere, so you got a tunnel system, you can override things quite easily just by selecting them all, selecting all this type, and then putting a manual culling distance on them. That's kind of what I like to do. Then the stuff like long distance, you can like go through one by one. It's, as I said, I like to do it that way because the volume is very, very lazy. And my bloody editor's crashed again. But yeah, that's about it for this episode. Off camera I'll be fiddling with things, and we'll be doing some other things. So probably next episode will be shadows, and I don't think there'll be a lot more after that. Be more advanced stuff, like making LODs for things, grouping things together as a single mesh, and but they're more advanced things. You might need, well, I say you might, you're gonna need some skills in 3ds Max, which I don't particularly have, and whatnot. But we can do things within the editor itself. But yeah, you can see I'm pretty much getting 60 FPS on the ground in most places. I can get a bit more out of it in the next episode, I know I can. But after all this, it's just tweaking and playing with numbers. That's all culling is about. But yeah, it's starting to look pretty sweet. So I probably could cull out half of the middle as well, because there's no need to look at all that. But that's it. Thanks for watching. I shall see you in the next one. Ta-ra.